Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. And by New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation, New Orleans, where stories are created.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Gwen Tompkins, host of the radio program Music Inside Out, airing twice weekly on WWNO. Hey, Miss Gwen, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Poppy Tooker with an exclamation point, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, also airing twice weekly on WWNO. Hello, Miss Poppy.
Hello, Miss Peg.
And you know, it's been a while. We have lots to talk to him about. Greg Schrammel, co-founder of the New Orleans Ballet Theater. Welcome back, Greg.
It's nice to be back again. It's been a while.
It has been a while, so now it's time. And Alan Smason of VidaCriticism.com. Hello. And later on, we'll be talking to members of the Crude Illusion, whose parade is next weekend. But first up, Poppy.
Oh, so much fun to talk about tonight. So, going to Chewbacca's tomorrow night? Well, I suggest that you get the party started at Antoine's Hermes Bar 10th anniversary. It has been 10 years since that brilliant Antoine's family thought, let's make it so. We'll open the doors.
It's gorgeous.
Anyone can have a cocktail, and you can have oysters Rockefeller and palm souffle in your shorts. So tomorrow from 4 until 6, there will be live music, great drink specials, and of course, get those oysters Rockefeller while you're there. Now, I'm late to this party. Do you celebrate Galentine's Day? Have you done that yet? It just caught my attention. Apparently, this all started on a Parks and Recreation episode back in 2010 when Amy Poehler's character declared that Galentine's Day, February 13th, was the day to leave your boyfriends and husbands at home and celebrate your gal pals. Well, you know, there's no gal pal that I love quite like that Emery Whalen. And so she's so clever. You can celebrate Galentine's Day at Jack Rose with a special breakfast for dinner menu, because apparently that's part of the thing from TV. Now check out this menu: glitter chicken and waffles, Wagyu flank steak and eggs, lobster and grits, and mile-high pie waffle. Yum! So, and of course, there's also a fabulous menu available for Valentine's Day with all sorts of specials too. Now, Mardi Gras newsflash. Gracious Bakery, I want to remind everybody, is the place to remember for Mardi Gras. Now, first of all, of course, we've got a gorgeous king cake from them here, and I love, this is nectar, Peg.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we'll get a shot of that. That is so pretty, it's pink.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful? It's a pale pink, great for Galentine's or Valentine's, and it's nectar flavored, our favorite. So at Gracious Bakery at the corner of St. Charles and 6th, you can stop by there anytime, any parade, day or night, and get chicken hand pies, artichoke hand pies for the vegetarians, andouille sausage rolls, sandwiches. There's a Gracious rum punch that's grand, Bloody Marys. They even have Jameson and Fireball shots. And I want to remind everybody that there's fantastic hostess gifts. You know, you're on the parade route, you're going to stop at somebody's house, stop by Gracious Bakery, and look at the adorable Mardi Gras cookies. And that is the white chocolate bark. Now they
white chocolate bark?
Yes, Peggy. Yum. And so also they have just recently opened up Gnocchi Cafe by Gracious, which is Chef Michael Doyle.
Look at that.
So they're going to have sort of the same basic ideas at Gnocchi Cafe, which is on Lee Circle in the big Gnocchi building. But Mike Doyle is also going to be serving fried chicken and red beans and a lot more hot food entrees. And they're open every day, day and night parades, closed Mardi Gras Day. They're expecting a wild time for Endymion, by the way, there. And then, last little Valentine's message, taco and tequila lovers. Well, remember, Top Taco Nola is coming Thursday Thursday, March 14th at Waldenberg Park. The early bird special, the tickets are $55, but they've got a Valentine's special on right now. 2 tickets for $99. And then that was such a successful thing, Top Taco, that it expanded last year into Agave Week. And that's Sunday, March the 10th through Thursday, March the 14th. Where there's seminars and tasting events at the Ace Hotel. There's Valentine ticket specials to all of Agave Week. But here's what I love too. So it's taking place at the Ace Hotel, that part. They're offering discounted rooms for $165. So all I can say for Valentine's is love tequila and tacos. Get your tickets and get a room.
Thank you, Poppy. Woo-hoo. Good advice, right? And moving on to Gwen, musically speaking.
Well, I'm still kind of thrilled about what Poppy had to say, actually. I'm interested in all of these days, in all of these places. But, you know, the big news next week was going to be the Foo Fighters concert at the new Fillmore, New Orleans venue, which is by
Harrah's.
Yes, by Harrah's downtown. And the Foo Fighters were going to appear with Trombone Shorty and Orleans Avenue, and then also with the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. It was going to be a 2-night stand, but it's not going to be a 2-night stand because they have canceled, or I should say postponed, and they'll be appearing at the Fillmore later on in the spring, I think in May. But there's plenty to do music-wise this week, and so I'm hoping that that you all will have a chance to go and see over at Generations Hall on Sunday evening. It's going to be Ani DeFranco, who lives in New Orleans but doesn't often play here, along with the Squirrel Nut Zippers, Corey Henry and the Treme Trumpet, and Sarah Quintana and the Little Big Horns, you know, which is a wonderful band that used to be with Michelle Lake before she moved to Europe. And this is going to be a fundraising event for the Lycée Français de Nouvelle-Orléans, and they're calling it Nuit de la Musique, and it's a fundraiser, so you're going to have to pay what you're going to have to pay. You know, it's up to you. But what's wonderful is that Ani DeFranco has sort of built this national reputation as a wonderful alternative rock artist. She's been called folk and not folk, so it's up to you to make your own decisions. And she's collaborated with people like Ivan Neville, but she's also collaborated with Pete Seeger. You know, so she's just a wonderful, wonderful performer, and I hope you have a chance to see her on Sunday night. On Galentine's Day, Wednesday, on the 13th of February, there's going to be a wonderful event that's associated with music at the Mint, you know, down at the corner, the edge of the French Quarter. And it's going to be part of their Drumsville exhibit, which talks about drumming in New Orleans. Of course, you know that drummers here and New Orleans rhythm has informed almost every American popular music genre in the last century. And, you know, the drummers here are the best drummers anywhere. So it starts with Baby Dodds, and it goes all the way down to this wonderful young man named Terrence Houston, who is the drummer for the Funky Meters, and he's also the drummer with George Porter and the Running Partners. And Terrence Houston is going to be there at the Mint at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, Galentine's Day. And he's going to drum and hopefully talk about funk music, because as John Cleary always says, funk came first in New Orleans before anything else. Then on Valentine's Day itself, this is the day that you're going to have to make a statement. If you have a honey or a sweetheart, this is the day. And you can't avoid it, and I don't care what people say about it being like a made-up holiday and for, you know, to sell chocolate. Nobody cares about that. Come February 14th, people want a demonstration of affection. And I have 2 choices for you. One is, if you want to be known as someone who understands who the up-and-coming risers of music are, then I would suggest that you go down to the Ace Hotel on Thursday evening at 9 and see a wonderful young vocalist named Christian Bold. He's been playing around New Orleans for some time. He sings a beautiful jazz, wonderful baritone voice. You've seen him around town. You've seen him at the French Quarter Festival. He's just wonderful. Christian Bold. It's free. Okay, but don't tell your sweetheart that. But it's free and it's wonderful. The other choice is, of course, the Louisiana Philharmonic, that's if you're going to go big. And I say go big if you can. They're doing Visions of Vienna and Salzburg. Okay, and it's going to be great. There's going to be a pianist featured, Orion Weiss, or Weiss, and the pieces are going to be from Missy Mazzoli, from Mozart, and from Strauss. And so this is, it's a wonderful choice whether you have a honey or not, okay? Because, no one can be alone in front of an orchestra, you see. And also, that's going to be at the Orpheum at 7:30 on Thursday evening.
That's Richard Strauss, though, not Johann. So people won't get confused.
Interesting.
They're doing the Rosenkavalier suite.
Yes.
Very sweet.
Which is a
Very
lovely,
sweet.
it's a lovely gender bender
Absolutely. Thank
of a
you.
performance.
And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Alex Friedman told us on what corner would you find the combos with a Mardi Gras beat and the song Mardi Gras Mambo, and also who recorded it too. The answers, of course, LaSalle and Rampart, and by the way, the Hawkettes. Now, tonight's question, Ruler of My Heart, was an early New Orleans rhythm and blues perfect for Valentine's classic, of course. Who recorded it? And who wrote the original version? Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prize is a year's subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, great cover, and a Mardi Gras t-shirt from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. You can go to our WYES.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, including Bridge House Grace House's annual Recycled Fashion Show this Sunday at Rock and Bowl, and the Calico Club Cabaret Singles Awareness Day show next Friday with Pat Barbaro's orchestra and swing music at the Little Gem Saloon. You can also link to our WYES YouTube channel to see our program. Now, Greg, you've got something cooking, as a matter of fact, this week too, at Le Petit this time.
We do. So let me give you a little update on where the company is after all this time.
New Orleans Ballet Theater.
New Orleans Ballet Theater. We 4 years ago we started performing at the Orpheum, and we started doing the Nutcracker there. This year we still do the Nutcracker there. We had 7,000 people for this year's Nutcracker. Yeah, that was great. So in the spring, though, last year we did Giselle, and this year we're going to do Cinderella May 24th and 25th. But what we're talking about today is our Valentine's Day show, not Galentine's Day. But the show is, it's called Tainted Love. It's sort of for the people that are just a little bit tired of Valentine's Day giving them a sore tooth from the amount of sugar involved. So it's a little bit of a twist on the love of Valentine's Day. It's a little bit, maybe love gone wrong, a little bit more lustful maybe than romantic.
Ooh, baby.
Uh-oh, what are you gonna say? So, but it's really a joy for us to get to do this, because this is, with Poppy here, I was thinking, you can talk about all the great things, but a lot of what we market is Cinderella or Giselle or Nutcracker, and people know what they are. But this is really like if a bunch of chefs get together and cook for each other. This is what gets me revved up in a big way. I mean, we have a world premiere. We have a choreographer from, he lives in Amsterdam now, but he was with Bill Forsyth in Frankfurt, and he's with Netherlands Dance Theater, and it's a piece called Shotgun. It's a little raw, it's a little tough, and it's thrilling. And we have a new piece. Jerry Oppendacker is doing a world premiere for us, and that's being created even as we speak there at the studio. And that's fantastic what's going on with that. And then we have Diogo de Lima, who wins the Big Easy Award every time he does a piece for us. So I think he's done 4 pieces for us, and 4 of his pieces have won the Big Easy Award.
And this is next Thursday and Friday, but to also tell us the news about your new studio, because we should say also that you and your lovely wife have a dancing school.
We do. So this is big news of about 2 years ago. The CAC...
You were there for a while.
We were at the CAC for 10 years. And then the top 2 floors became
a business space.
A business space. So they needed, by giving up their 3rd floor galleries, they needed our space to become galleries. So we were out looking, and I mean, when I say looking, we were knocking on doors looking for space. Shockingly, we found facility that already had a music recording studio in it and a printer.
Wow.
And it was about 28,000 square feet. And we built out another 6,000 square feet within it, and we have another 10,000 square feet that we're going to expand to.
And this is Terpsichore Street. How's
This is
that?
Terpsichore. How's that? I know, you know.
I know.
The
New
Terpsichore
Orleans
keeps coming.
poetry.
It's unbelievable how it's come up. Our first performance that we ever did, we did Balanchine's Apollo, and in Apollo is the muse Terpsichore. My wife performed that part, and it was 75 years to the day that it was premiered in Paris, when we premiered it in New Orleans, and it hadn't been done in New Orleans. So I don't know how Terpsichore. It seems it's unbelievable, the coincidence. I mean, so our studios are on Terpsichore Street, 920, and when we left the CAC, we had space there, but we had about 180 students, and we're already over 300 now.
Oh, congratulations!
Within just 2 years, so. It's just sort of amazing what's happened in the last 4 years. I haven't not been here because of you not offering and being very kind. We've just been running in circles so fast. I mean, I'm really ready for a vacation.
Congrats. And New Orleans, your website one more time.
www.nobt.org.
Okay, we can handle that. Thank you.
Or
Congrats.
just
Come
look
Thursday
up
and Friday.
New Orleans Ballet Theater, and it's Googled
It's
everywhere.
gonna be Well, glad you're back. Thank you, Greg. And now it's time, though, for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight, I wanted to show you images from this new NOLA craft culture created by some folks with ties to muses, including Virginia Saucy. It's called NOLA Craft Culture. Glitter and feathers and all kinds of other decorations and sequins. It also offers locals a workspace so you can do your Mardi Gras shoes or costumes right there. You can rent a locker to store your project. Look at how beautiful that shoe is, of course, known for muses.
Great.
You can also buy, as I did, carnival costume accessories and some decorations. NOLA Craft Culture is located right in Mid-City on 127 South Solomon, right off Canal Street. You can visit their website for more info. But I found a headdress, something to wear.
Can't wait to see.
And a door decoration. Yes, I think I will show it. So, and speaking of Mardi Gras, earlier today, members of the Crude Illusion came in to share details of their 10th annual parade. It's been a decade with the Crude Illusion, and of course the Crude Illusion is made up of smaller groups. Antonio Garza is with us, and he's with us, Migos de los Amigos, and also a founding captain of the crew as well. Show us some of the throws of this year.
We are made up of several inner crews. This is, of course, the famous Crude Jew bagel, which is a nod to the Zulu coconut. And Amigos de los Amigos has what's called cascarones, hollowed out Easter eggs, which are a nod to both.
And your ruler this year?
Our ruler is Lois Andrews Nelson, and she will be the mother of music. And
she's the mother of trombone Shardy, of course, and James Andrews, and very involved with music herself for so many years.
in many different ways.
And Janice Kimball, who's with the Baby Doll Sisterhood and the Gold Diggers Baby Dolls as well.
Exactly.
And you're all marching in the crew, of course.
Yes, that's like 10 different Baby Dolls groups. It will be representing Los Andrews, okay?
That's
for
going to
the
be
Crude
so much
Illusion.
fun. Very
Yes.
good. And Brett Davis with the Trash Formers. And what does that mean for this crew?
That's right. We're a new inner crew, and we're a marching crew with a job to do. So we're going to be riding around in these interactive bicycle hybrids, yeah, shopping cart. It's got the pre-Mardi Gras vendor vibe, and we're going to be doing interactive waste collection with the crowd, getting cans, bottles, plastic bottles, and go-cups.
All this is going to be so much fun. You'll probably primarily be, at the end of the parade or all around?
Yeah, probably towards the end of the parade when people are thinking about packing out stuff that would be normally going to the landfill. We're going to save it.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing them. This is a family-friendly Crude Illusion, and we appreciate all of their efforts. Happy Mardi Gras, and we'll see you on the route.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and a reminder that the Crude Illusion, which follows Crude Illusion, that parade is Saturday a week, the 16th, of course, and that's at 7 o'clock. They start at the corner of Franklin and Royal, and for a full map, go to crudeillusion.org. And now it's time for Ellen.
Well, as tasteless, heretical, and blasphemous as it is to all devout worshipers, the Book of Mormon is still doing big business and making fun of all organized religions in the process. It's currently playing at the Sanger Theater, of course, but still playing on Broadway to mostly sold-out houses, pulling in between $900,000 and $1 million a week. So you know it's big business. This is the third sacrilegious time it's made its way to the Sanger Theater, having opened the house in 2013 and, of course, having returned in 2016.
That's right.
And now, like the prodigal son, here it is again. The two stars are Liam Tobin, who plays a straight-laced elder, Kevin Price. He plays everything by the book, and, of course, I mean the Book of Mormon. And Connor Pearson, who plays the screw-up elder, Arnold Cunningham, who sort of makes things as he goes along. Also notable is Kayla Peccioni, who plays the innocent Ugandan native Nabalungi. And of course, Arnold never gets her name right. I love that. As Trey Parker and Matt Stone have done on South Park for many years, they know how to really be particularly satirical with their material, very edgy. Robert Lopez, of course, also was a little bit edgy with the Tony Award winner Avenue Q. He also knows how to turn a funny musical phrase, and it really is just a delightful, funny musical, but you have to have sort of a good sort of a sense of humor about everything. And the fact is, the musical does ridicule organized religion, the Mormon faith in particular, but it's really not one thing that's mentioned throughout the entire process that is not true and not a tenet or fact of the Mormon Church. So it really is an indictment of all religions. I wouldn't necessarily be looking just at the Mormon Church. There are a number of very regrettable words in it that are uttered on stage, and some of those are very objectionable, some of the laughs. It's not a work for kids. If you're easily offended, do not go.
Alan, in the last production, and they actually, in the program, they had ads for the Mormon Church.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, the Mormon Church feels that this is a genuine opportunity for them to do outreach. So, yeah, and not only in the last program, but also the ones in New York. They buy many, many pages. There are only a few performances that remain. If you're willing to take a chance, you know, on an evening of hilarity, as opposed to an eternity in the fiery pits of Mordor, check out the Book of Mormon. It's going to be playing for the weekend. Now, last night I was at the final dress rehearsal for Dreamgirls, which of course is going to be playing for 3 weeks. Normally they only play for 2 weeks, but this is going to be 3 weeks at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center. This is the Tony Award winner, of course. It was directed and choreographed by Michael Bennett back in 1981, and of course in 2006 we may remember after Jennifer Holliday won a Tony Award for her performance on Broadway, that Jennifer Hudson won a Oscar for her performance in the film. Basically, they both play the role of Effie. Effie is, to me, the lead part in this, and of course she's played in this particular case by Tiandra Norris. She has really most of the big numbers. She's got the pipes for it too, I have to tell you. Dina is played by Destiny Smith, with Taylor James playing Laurel. That's the other member of what is essentially a takeoff on the Supremes. They're the original Dreamettes, and then they become the Dreams. So loosely based on that struggle of the stars of Motown, Diana Ross, the Supremes, and others peripherally, basically the struggle of black artists to achieve fame and to really be accepted on pop charts. The music is by Henry Krieger and the book is by Tom Ewan, but it is not Motown music. If you're going there to listen for Diana Ross and the Supremes, please understand it's different kind of music. It is evocative of the era, though. This is Christopher Bettavenya's biggest musical that he's done to date. Big production, big costumes are really outstanding by Sammy Malik. And by the way, the lighting design I was really impressed with by Robert Camp. And wigs by Lauren Hart are also very, very good as well. I would also tell you, overall, again, final dress rehearsal, the production was very good. There were a few problems that I noted with the cast projecting and enunciating some of the words, but this was a final dress rehearsal, and I always want to give them a little bit of a pass on that. Overall, there's a great deal to be looking forward to. This a very good work at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center, and again, the music direction by Robert Pate, also outstanding. Knowing he had done some work, however, in Once on This Island, I was a little bit disappointed with Polanco Jones, who I think is a great artist, and I would have liked to have seen him do a little bit more with the choreography than there was. But other than that, I think Dreamgirls is outstanding. You'll have a good time at it. And February the 24th is the closing day for it.
All right.
Also, I want to mention there is one other thing. There's a chance to see not this coming tomorrow, I think on Saturday, not a one-time but a two-time Pulitzer Prize winner. That's Lynn Nottage. She won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 2009 for Ruined, and then, of course, a couple of years back for Sweat. So if you want to see that, it's at Tulane University.
All right,
Okay.
good. Thank you, Alan. Now time for our picks of the week. Gwen.
Okay, scrunch music, which, you know, I know you all have been really waiting for. Scrunch music it's a composition by Byron Asher, who's a multi-instrumentalist who created this wonderful piece that's really reliant on experimental music to sort of limn or follow the political and social evolution of New Orleans through the evolution of New Orleans music. So it's going to be at the Marigny Opera House on February 12th, Tuesday. 7:30.
Thank you so much. Poppy.
Well, nothing says I love you like a Valentine's drag brunch. And my friends at the Pythian Market are hosting one. I'm not involved in this one. It's noon until 2. It's very different from the other formats because you go and eat whatever at the market, of course, and the drag queens sort of wander around cabaret style as they perform. So it's an adventure.
Absolutely. Greg.
Well, what do you think? New Orleans Ballet Theater.
So if somebody wants to take classes, is it only for children or
It is not.
adults do it?
We have students from 3 to 60.
Love it.
And we
Okay.
have 10 o'clock classes, and then we have the whole evening. We have 3 different studios now, so we have classes constantly going on.
Great.
Cars coming and going. The street's busy.
Good, Alan.
I want to remind everybody, the intergalactic crew of Chewbacca's is having their parade on Saturday night. Corner of Press and Royal is where it gets started. Should be a lot of fun.
Okay, and my picks, don't miss this month's Piety Market in Exile, which will be tomorrow at the New Orleans Healing Center. Great for costumes. On St. Claude, of course, soprano Heather Phillips will be starring in the New Orleans Opera's production of Mozart's Abduction from the Sargalio. That will be this Sunday at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. Looking ahead, see Nell Nolan and Dennis Waltering and A.R. Gurney's Love Letters next Thursday, Valentine's, at the Little Gem Saloon. Admission is $25 and can be purchased through ticketfly.com, and proceeds are going to the Heart Association. Perfect. This year's Steppin Out, it's Carnival Time, which is an overview, of course, of the season, will debut next Thursday. A lot of things happening on Valentine's Day. Join Carnival historians Arthur Hardy and Errol Laborde and myself as we talk about eco-friendly throws and what's new for the season. It's 8 p.m. WYES.org for future airings. It's going to be airing a lot, but that's when it makes its debut. Also will be on YouTube. Don't miss the Louisiana State Museum's behind-the-scenes viewing Hidden Treasures Carnival Edition. That's featuring historic carnival costumes and rare artifacts. That's happening next Tuesday and Thursday. And you can just go to their website for more information. The admission, by the way, is $25. That's friendsofthecabildo.org. Thank you all so very much for being with us. And thank you for watching. Good night.
Okay.
We should do the way.